My name is Bruce Chugg and I'm a pilot with Cycling Without Age at Kent Street Weir in Canning.
Hello, my name's Carol Chugg and I volunteer with Cycling Without Age, not in a riding the bike capacity, but as a ride coordinator. I became involved with Cycling Without Age quite by accident. My husband Bruce had been down to the Have a Go Day in Seniors Week at the Burswood and came across the organisation and came home and told me all about it.
About a week later, they had training at Deepwater Point on operating the bike, and my wife and I went down to that, going up hills and things like that, safety and getting people on and off the bike. So my wife and I attended the training there at Deepwater Point.
My father became involved with Cycling Without Age after we lost my mum. Unfortunately, she passed away, and Dad was at a little bit of a loss socially, so I decided to bring him down to have a ride. Bruce and I brought him down to have a ride on the bikes, and he absolutely enjoyed himself.
92 years old, and he just loved it. And unfortunately, he passed away not long after we'd been here at Kent Street. But the family, Carol and her brother and sister, decided to contribute money to purchase the bike.
The thing that's been most enjoyable about having the bike rides with my father and given me a really deeper understanding is that the day-to-day caring can sometimes become quite an ordeal for both the carer and the person doing the caring. And when we go out on the bikes, it's just two people thoroughly enjoying the outdoors. There are no issues, it's sit back, relax. My father really enjoyed the river, the birds, the trees when he was going around on the trishaw. He did have some knowledge of this area prior to moving here 6 years ago and remembered the old celery farms up near the old White House. He thoroughly enjoyed the wildlife and would often speak to the students along the Bannister Creek who were doing water sampling, so he showed a real interest in nature. After my father passed away, the family got together and decided that there couldn't be a more fitting memorial than to fund perhaps a bike for Cycling Without Age. So on behalf of the family, we made a bequest to Cycling Without Age to purchase a new trishaw. We had a meal exactly a week to the day before Dad passed away. We had a lovely trishaw ride in the morning. We went over and had our lunch at the cafe, and I've got wonderful memories of doing that with my father.
If he was still here, he'd be here every Friday to ride it. He just had such joy from going for rides around and seeing the birds and the river and the trees around. He just loved it, yes.
The new trishaw that's housed at Kent Street Weir has my father's name on it. He was known as Vic to all of us, but the bike has been named Victor in his honour. So if you see Victor riding around the river, have a little thought of a man who had such great pleasure in days when he was alive.